Welcome back to this Dial C special. I'm in conversation with World Cup winning player R. Ashwin. Ashwin, I have a bowling figure of an international bowler right now with me. You need to give me a verdict on the figures and the bowler himself. Now, in the 11 matches he's played, he's taken 19 wickets. His average is 26.68, and at the moment his economy rate is 4.78. What do you have to say about these figures and the bowler?
Figures are something like, as I already told, cricket is all about numbers. It's a good figures to have. Probably more wickets would have been nicer. I mean, I'm not being harsh on myself. I would love to have a few more wickets. It's just love. I'm not saying I'm not done well, but yeah, the 11th game that I played was the first wicketless game that I had. But yeah, from there, looking to go forward, more challenges to come, more power play bowling and all that. I hope the economy rate sticks there and wickets just keep going and the average just gets better.
Right, Ashwin, let's talk about your variation. That's the most talked about thing about R. Ashwin today. Whenever he comes out to bowl, everybody looks for that carom ball. From the variation in pace to that pause in your jump, take us through the variations that you have and how you've inculcated it and what's your stock delivery, if you could elaborate further, because more than me, there are so many people who want to know about it.
See, for me, my stock delivery is my off spin, which turns from outside off spin, and that's the most venomous delivery I've got because I impart the most number of revolutions on that particular ball. See, what people miss out is that unless you have a good stock ball, all these variations bad to nothing. So my stock ball is pretty. If you wake me up anytime and tell me you have to bowl your stock ball now, I'll probably wake up and bowl the stock ball at probably at least 90% accuracy at any time. So when this happens, my carom ball gets much more doubly effective. And as a spinner, I think you need to innovate and keep on finding more and more, especially in international cricket. And I'm in the process of doing it.
Right, Ashwin, what's with that pause in the delivery? Because sometimes when you come on to bowl, you stop and suddenly it looks like as if you're going back and telling the batsman, listen, I've forgotten something. And then suddenly you go and deliver the magic ball.
I personally think there is a lot to it. There's a lot of common sense attached to cricket by and large. Cricket is a game of common sense. And if I feel a batsman is going to come hard at me, I just sit back and think what's the best possible opportunity or the option for the batsman to succeed. If the option is going to be to step out and hit me, and if that is the best option for him to succeed, I'll try and cut that out. Because if I hold myself back, I think I can get him stumped or probably pull the length back.
Right, okay. Now an interesting topic that interests me as well. I don't know how you do it, but in your language you call it the? Carom ball, but in the local language you call it the?
Soduk.
Soduk, yeah. What's the Soduk, what's the carom ball, how it all started and how effective it's been and how much do you use it today in cricket?
I use it quite a lot for starters. For starters is the word to be underlined because batsman knowing that you have a variation by itself is a variation because he's going to be waiting for it. He's going to be waiting for it. If I don't bowl it, he's fooled. So at the end of the day, again, the control is in my hands. And coming back to the local Sudoku stuff, it's a tennis ball game that we play.
And how do you, if you could just show like how...
It's done through my middle finger. It's flicked that way.
Okay. And how it all started with tennis ball cricket? You played over there?
That's when I picked somebody bowl this ball. I mean, it's very familiar among the gully
local
cricket players.
Yeah, gully cricket.
A lot of people bowl it and the accuracy rates are different. Some people don't have strong fingers, some people do have strong fingers. But then this was something which was interesting.
I read somewhere where it's written that your USP is the length that you get. And to get that length, you did something called a spot bowling at the TNCA using a grid. What was all that about? That really helped you get the accuracy in terms of...
It's more about accuracy.
Right.
But predominantly my strength has been my bounce. Bounce that I extract because
much like Harbhajan Singh, even he enjoys the bounce.
There's no comparison between me and Harbhajan Singh. He's a legend, he's a great.
No, in terms of the bounce, he enjoys bounce. So most of the spinners today enjoy bounce.
But I get a lot of steep bounce because of my height.
Right.
And the pace at which I operate is much different.
And you keep varying your pace as well.
My pace is something which I think is my biggest strength. I vary my pace.
Right. Why I'm asking you is because you have a history with Chris Gayle. And when we talk about your variations, that's where we get to see your variations coming to the fore. You foxed Chris Gayle when he was with Kolkata Knight Riders, when he was with RCB as well. Talking about the pace, talking about the manner in which you pitch, talking about reading the batsman's mind, you can elaborate further when it comes to Chris Gayle and R. Ashwin.
What happened that year was the biggest lesson I drew with respect to Chris Gayle because I started the first over. My arm ball is my first go-to ball because I thought two left-handers, Chris Gayle and Sourav Ganguly, if they were a little stiff and a little slow coming forward, I thought I could trap them out LBW. But both of them seemed good with that. They were just clipping it off their pads and all that. The next was to try and see if there was some spin in the wicket. I just pushed one ball because I don't want to really toss it up. I just pushed one ball slightly. I mean, it was just flat. It wasn't very quick. It was slow. to test the spin in the wicket, and Chris Gayle just hit it. And it seemed like a catch all the way through, and it was a heavy bat, mind you. It hit the bottom of the bat and it just flew over Vijay's head for a 6.
Wow.
Then I went back to my crease. Okay, listen, it's happened. You bowled one good over. Let's try and get over with this. 4 overs, 25 runs, 30 runs. At least you'll be safe. That's what my subconscious told me. Then I just put one step forward. All this happened. I just remember every bit of it because I thought that was the turning point of my career. So I just put 1 foot forward. I just held back. The umpire put his hand out. Batsman wasn't ready. Just turned around. I just took a break. I saw the crowd and all that. Then thought, okay, what am I going to do? What is that I'm going to do? I thought all of this. What is that I'm going to do? Then I said, okay, all right, let's do this. I'll take a chance. See, I'm back in the side. I'll take a chance. I'll bowl it slower and see what he does. I bowled it slower. I bowled it in the perfect line. Just stepped out. He played it. The ball spun and he got out. Immediately, Dhoni said, what is your biggest variation? I said, I have the carom ball. Bowled first ball at Brendan McCullum. I bowled first ball. He was dead plumb in front. It was not given. The next ball, again, I bowled it. He was caught at fine leg. The next ball, David Hussey was out stumped. I was on a hat-trick. The next...
It all changed, Ashwin. All changed.
Everything changed. Everything he changed in 1 over.
1 over.
I was on a hat-trick. I came for the 3rd over.
1 over changed your mindset?
Yep. Most definitely. 3rd over.
1 over changed your confidence?
I think in a space of 6 balls, everything changed. The way I had to handle myself, the way I had to look at cricket in general, the way I had to look at international cricket, not worry about who the batsman is.
But over a period of time, the deliveries that you throw out to the batsman from your conventional off spinners to the carom ball to the leg spinner that you've learned, from varying the pace, varying the length, how much of time it's taken you to master all of this?
I've not mastered everything. I mean, even now the carom ball...
You're being modest.
No. Even now the carom ball can go slip down the leg stump a little bit because of it's a combination of events. The batsman can be hitting you, he can be in good form, a lot of these things. I still think I can play around with a lot of these things. Better the lines with my conventional stock ball, better the lines with carom ball so that I can really confuse the batsman. Which one's going to turn in, which one's going to turn out. I should be able to do both from one spot. One same spot for 60 balls, and that's when I think I would have achieved what I want.
Right, so there we have it from the man himself. Now, if you're an off spinner, if you're a young aspiring off spinner, wait, don't be in a hurry. First you master the conventional off spin, get the ball to land in the right area, and then slowly move and digress into newer variations. We'll take a short break over here, but when we come back, lots more with R. Ashwin. Stay tuned.